Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. This is Madden 18 on EA Sports. It's opening week in the NFL, and today we have two teams are more than ready to get the season underway. It's the Chargers going up against the Chiefs.
Larry, as always, it is a frenzied atmosphere inside Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Kansas City Chiefs. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. Room here to run. It's a foot race. The 20. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. A great play there. 68 yards. And the Chiefs are going to take a first quarter lead. And his kick is good to make it 7-0 KC. Now here's Suckup out to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Now the Georgia Southern man. This is Jerick McKinnon. And right away, he lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. So they almost turn it over there. Scary moment. Second down here. From the gun, here's Stafford. This is caught. It's Greg Olsen. And he'll be taken down just shy of the 40. A good pickup there, a 22.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Stafford got his man complete over the middle. That's Waters. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. So the D-line's going to spread out. On 1st and 10, Stafford. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Second and 10, Stafford again. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
And the Chiefs showing a dime look as they defend this third down. Again, it's Stafford. He's got his man. It's Williams. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first.
Well, he's looking sharp right from the get-go here. Tough division. They needed this kind of a start. But I think this is part of where scripting comes in. We always hear about the scripting of plays, how they're going to be called. Everyone dress rehearses their script, and right now they're following it to a T.
And for that opening drive, so part of the script still to come, right, partner?
Yeah, no doubt about it. We've got a ways to go with that, but you can tell that they worked on the script the entire week in practice, and it's paying off for them.
Big 20.
On first down, it's Stafford. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Greg Olsen was the intended target, and that'll bring up second down.
Well, they're slinging it. And then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown, out of his reach, and incomplete. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had the incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 24. He gets away from one. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line.
Well, this wind is definitely going to be a factor as this game goes along. He's throwing straight into it here in the first quarter, and the ball fluttered on him a little bit. He'll definitely have to file that one away and make a mental note of it.
Following the interception, here's Bridgewater. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Call it a pickup of 7, and it's a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Bridgewater now on second down. That's complete right around the 8. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown.
This is similar to baseball, where you walk the leadoff hitter and you don't expect him to come around and score. Almost impossible. Anytime a defense has to defend a short field, you usually end up seeing the result we saw, giving up points.
Now here's Suckup out to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. Oh, look at the juke. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told, as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field. And in enemy territory last time through the interception. We'll see what they do on this drive.
Can't wait to see how it alters what they decide to do in play calling. Do they continue to throw the ball? Do they want to lean more on the running game? It'll be an interesting sequence of plays that they've got coming up.
Does it often affect the play calling with the interception? How much does that change what you do?
I think it does, depending on why the interception was thrown. Sometimes it's just a matter of the defense made a great play, so you continue to come back. But if it's on you, if the offense just doesn't have the confidence, if they're a little bit shaky, maybe try and take the pressure off and run the ball a little bit.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Throwing is Stafford. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
On 2nd and 10, Stafford. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And the return across midfield and to the 46-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. And they brought the pressure there just right up the gut, didn't they?
Yeah, they certainly did. And, you know, when you've got so many different responsibilities as an offensive line, you got to deal with the nose tackle, the 2 defensive tackles or ends, and then sometimes you just can't account for everyone. The linebacker slipped free.
On second down, Cook. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards gets him back near the original line of scrimmage as they'll be left with a 3rd and long.
In today's NFL, you hear all the time about stretching the field and creating space in order to run plays. A toss play will help accomplish that because now you're pushing a defense to chase you all the way to the edges and to the sideline. That's a nice run, probing now early to try and get things done later.
On 3rd down, Bridgewater. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. Kerry Hyder in there to drop him for a 4-yard loss, and it'll be 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. And he'll take this in at the 1-yard line. And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. And the Chargers will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. And the first play of the drive goes to McKinnon. And space opens a bit as he gets it across the 15 to the 17-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. 2nd down following the run. Back to throw, Stafford. He finds McKinnon, complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Charger first. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. McKinnon, and he loses the football a 2nd time. I'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
Back now to begin the 2nd quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. So after nearly turning it over, new life here for the offense on 2nd down. Out of the gun, Stafford. And the Chiefs are going to get him. Taco Charlton in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And he's going to go down again. Taco Charlton in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. On is the Chargers punter now, standing just about on his own goal line. Taking on the midfield logo. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the Chiefs will have excellent field position here as they take over. And now here comes Kansas City. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and give these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down. Great change up there on the route and got that inside release, made it a successful pitch and catch.
Well, the first thing you want to do is have him thinking that you're going outside, make a move in that direction. Then you really don't run the route against the whole body of the defender. You run against a half of him, and the inside half, and he took it right across his face, got inside, and won that route in a big way.
And he'll be out of bounds all the way down at the 6. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards.
When big runs occur, sometimes there's a sense that things were pretty easy, and that one carried them down inside the 10. But getting into the end zone now, that won't be easy at all because you're going to face different defenses and not as much real estate to work with. Will they be able to run it, or will they have to throw it in order to try and score?
Here's Bridgewater. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Michael Thomas from 6 yards away. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead. And it is now 21-0. Now here's Suckup out to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. So out come the Chargers. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
To throw on second down is Stafford. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. Aldon Smith in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. The Chargers on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. Third and long. It's Stafford. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. And I think the Chiefs have it. They do.
Well, that's a down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him, sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. A great effort there. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Chiefs add on to their lead. Oh, and it's no good. He tugged it wide left, and that will keep our score right where it is. Now here's Suckup out to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Charger first. They go play action here on first down. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls when you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. So the incomplete pass brings up second down. To throw again. Stafford, he's going to float this one deep right side. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down.
Well, sometimes those cliches really come true, don't they? When they talk about it takes all 11 to play good defense. We've seen that in this ball game. I think the secondary has to be singled out, though. They are in the presence of every receiver whenever the ball's thrown. And this one, they help force another incompletion.
To throw on 3rd down. Stafford. And now another one thrown incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. This is taken at about the 14. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And it's Chiefs football. 1st and 10. The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field. Bridgewater on first down. It's complete on the bubble screen. That's James. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line.
Now, that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
A give. This is Cook. Oh, nice spin.
Oh, that brought back bad memories.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And an alley to run. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a 1st down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack. And guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Arrowhead after this.
Let's go. Way 90. Way 90.
A toss to Cook. And some space here. Room to run inside the 40. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down. Getting the ball is Cook running left. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action and hit them over the top.
Let's go. 180.
They'll try to throw here now. Bridgewater. And Brate, the tight end's got it. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. The 2nd down throw for Bridgewater. He'll hit Watkins on the crossing route. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Sammy Watkins, a 24-yard touchdown. And the Chiefs have got it on cruise control.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Chargers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Here again is McKinnon, and he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. And when you're running the football, one thing you don't want to see is a big boy coming up there and swallow you whole in those D tackles and nose tackles.
No, you're actually counting on your big boys to protect you from them. But on that play, the defensive tackle had the leverage, and he won the battle. No gain, correct?
No gain. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this 3rd quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is going to do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. So 2nd and 10 here. Throwing again. Stafford. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it. And He gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
On third down, Stafford. And the Chiefs are going to get him.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. Now a hit and a loose football.
And that's what friends are for.
Right. As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turned it over there. That's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
Right. He's tight right here. He's tight on the right. Tight on the right. Get ready. Well,
from the gun, Bridgewater. This is complete to Watkins on the slant. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Offense still needing 10 yards. 2nd down.
watch tight. Tight end right. Let's go. Right 90. Force. 3 down.
Out of the gun, Bridgewater. Now he'll escape to his left. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. Handoff comes to Cook. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish, holding that to a minimal gain?
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Charger offense making their way back out there. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. Give them 12 yards there. The Chargers have a first down.
Well, how many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice gain.
Now a play fake here on first down.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
Back to the air. Stafford on second down. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll bring up a third down. The Chargers on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, here's Stafford. And the third down pass falls incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Now it's a bootleg with Bridgewater. And complete right side to Cook. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and they're going to have a third down.
Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right. Set. Way 90. Two jet. Two jet. Dagger. Dagger. Force. Force. Safety creep.
And he goes in motion here in the backfield. They just do get the play off. Now Bridgewater. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. Let's go. Two jet. Two jet. Way 90. Two jet. Way 90. Dagger. Dagger. Hey, check 24.
2nd down, Bridgewater. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
Basically, you're not going to outwork 2 guys very often.
Double coverage. I thought he was going to go somewhere else for the football. I get it. That's a stud wide receiver. You want to try to get him the football.
Yeah, sometimes you rely on him a bit too much. You forget the other options that are out there.
Let's go.
3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It'll be a gain of 7, but I'd imagine we'll see the punt team here on 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
We're back now in KC. And this is a blowout so far as we get set. Here's Sam Cook now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. And the Chargers coming out of the field now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
You just watch 88 of them. Just watch 88. 3-3. Set. 280. Back two. Big 20. Big 20.
On second down, here's Stafford. And his throw here's incomplete.
This has been a really nice day for the defense. They've made it so difficult to find open receivers because they're able to squeeze the passing lanes down. A lot of what they're doing is communicating. Receivers in one area, receivers in another area. They're almost what they call passing them off from one defender to the next, even in zone defenses, and making it very hard to find an open spot for the quarterback to deliver the ball.
And he fires one, but incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Oh, fighting off the defender. Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here comes the D swarming to the line. They start the drive with Cook. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs 1st down.
Let's go.
The give to the fullback on the dive. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Crash.
And on 2nd and 10 now. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
On 3rd down, it's Cook. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
But he was stopped on that play. But he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And right now, these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with him punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little.
Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Taco Charlton. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. Now McKinnon. And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12. Only 2 yards on the carry. That's going to set up a 3rd and long, 3rd and 15 to be exact.
Watch tight, watch tight. Tight end right, tight end right. All right, boys, here we go. 4 down, 4 down. Check, 4 down, 4 down. Ready?
From the gun, Stafford. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 28. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
On the ground, it's Cook. He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
It'll be a gain of 2, and speaking of 2s, it'll take us to the 2-minute warning. Oh, this ball hangs out to the right. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. So a bullet dodge there defensively. They surrender excellent field position on the kick return, but it winds up not costing them a thing.
And that's a tough sequence of events from an offensive perspective. The inability to get first downs leads to the field goal try. And the inability to cash that in leads to nothing on the scoreboard.
Now McKinnon to start the drive. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here.
Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right. Here we go. Hey.
Now it's Stafford. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. Aldon Smith in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
The Chargers on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 14. They'll run it now out of the gun. And down he'll go at the 25. He's able to chew up 8 yards on the carry there, but still 4th down upcoming.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Taco Charlton in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just 1 kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week one. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before.